Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3, and where we left off, we were discussing the options available to us. Now, things have progressed a little bit. I've managed for about a month or so to keep the advance going into northern Poland and into Germany, but I think I've reached the exhaustion level of my troops here. I am very much struggling now to hold a continuous front line. I have a lot of units just, lying about, which is great. But as you can see, a lot of them are in pretty rough shape. So I've pretty much called a complete halt to all offensive action in Poland and in the north. Because, I just can't continue pushing this. The Air Force, the German Air Force is massacring so many troops. But in some good news, I was able to just do a quick little encirclement from, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, but Chisinau up through to about here, so Tarnopol. So I've called this the Tarnopol encirclement. And we've got probably the better part of, I don't know, I'd wager 20 divisions stuck here, so that's pretty good going. The only issue we're having now is, of course, we're going to have to destroy all the units in here. And there are a pretty large amount of units here, but if we can destroy these units, it'll free up the better part of 30 divisions. So let's just have a count. So 6 there, 9, let's call that 17, 21, 30, 40, so 40 with all of them, probably 60 divisions that I will free up if I can destroy the units in here. And I've counted the German units, there's probably about 20 combat divisions with about 10 HQ and core HQs. So if I can do that, that would be really good. Now, following on from that encirclement, if I can finish that off by sort of March, April time, then I can give some serious thought to, and this is what I'm thinking at the moment, finishing off, pushing forward with these units here to about, the province of Rybienik, and then doing a push with all of the divisions that I'm going to free up here through sort of northern, well, terrain-wise, let's put it this way, through this forest here, south of Lvov, and then hopefully linking up about here. Now, if I was able to pull that off, I would probably capture most, if not all, of the German centre. Now, that is going to be the plan for early 44. Now, if I can pull that off, I can probably at the same time attempt to push into Romania and take that out as a minimum objective. But failing that, the other option is to, of course, consolidate all of this. But maybe a push towards Slovakia, because Slovakia only has one victory province, so we can take Slovakia quite easily, and maybe a push into Hungary once we've taken the centre out, and maybe a new river line, so we'll surround Berlin, and then a push all the way up to the Elbe, with sort of this little bit of Slovakia as well, and hopefully Hungary taken out. That's, as I say, the sort of options, but I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. But I'm going to carry on this episode now. Let's hopefully get started. Now, I am really struggling on the old supply at the moment. Now, I did spend some time just getting some money together, because we had some people buying some stuff off us, which is good. Which means I can buy some zinc off the United States. We had a load of people buy things from us. I'm not sure where that came from, to be honest, because no one's been wanting to buy anything we've been selling this whole game. Right. So we are under attack in a few pretty major areas. Particular battles to sort of keep an eye on. That one's going our way. That one's going our way. That's going our way. That's going our way. They're attacking us with a lot of divisions where... So this one, here for example, isn't looking so good. Let's move up some reinforcements. And then push with all of our other units. Because the sooner that I start being able to just shift over, so to speak, these units, the quicker I can liquidate them. Oh, and someone mentioned about building roads. I am building roads. As you can see, I'm building roads in the north here to sort of connect this area to here. So I've got some building projects there. Yeah, that's the plan at least. As I say, I'm building roads like on the most direct route. Or at least trying to. I can't remember exactly where I built them, but I am building roads pretty majorly. As you can see, we are suffering from bombing. Just absolutely ruining us. They are counterattacking pretty quickly. Let's move up some reinforcements there. I just don't have the troops to push anywhere else. I've managed to win that battle. Let's keep him pinned. I think it must be weather. No, it's forts, apparently. Apparently they've built up major forts, but it doesn't look like there's any forts here. Fort modifier. I'm not so sure about that. Really? A level 2 fort? That seems a bit over the top. But we can do some installation strikes. Some strategic bombing. As well as some air support. Yeah, let's get on with it. I don't think they're going to break through in a hurry, because we do at least have some pretty decent units concentration-wise. I'm going to leave behind just a couple of our weaker units. And we are winning this against those Panzer divisions quite handily. Let's put it on 4 speed. See where else we're being attacked. We're not really being attacked anywhere else, to be honest. Yeah, we'll move up some divisions just into that province there. Let's keep moving south. Now, Paulus is attacking, and also, one other thing, I think we caught the 10th Panzer Division, and Schall, who has been a complete pain in my ass for far too long. He has been a never-ending torrent of frustration. So, I'm at least happy with that. Now, they are well and truly struggling to contain any sort of front line. There we go, that's good. So we're just pinning down what units we can there. try and encircle and destroy that unit. Like so. Just lost another guard armor. This is what I'm saying when I'm saying we are taking a hammering. We're being quite pushed back. Got one more reserve of infantry that I can just chuck in. And there of all of our shattered units that have previously shattered, making their way back over to the front. Here's another load more. Let's see, I think it's the Air Force doing this more than anything. My own Air Force can't seem to really put up the fighters to handle it. Now, I could go for a slightly smaller encirclement directly in front of us here. But I am going to wait for the weather to get a bit better now. This is going to be sort of, I think, the last hurrah. Let's move up any motorized units we have here. Right to the base of that little pocket. See that? That is not good. I don't really have a whole load of units that I can send to hold that, but I'm going to have to, because we can't hold off that many tank divisions. And we're breaking in here. Can take the 5th Corps. Let's chuck another couple of divisions there. And if that's a watch troop, again, fort modifier. Right, yeah, there's some rather dodgy forts just dotted around here. Like here, for example, we've got forts. We've got a fort line here that we're struggling to break. Right, this province has no forts, so I'm not sure quite what's going on there. Our own fort defences are a pain in the ass, apparently. So we've already lost that battle. But we'll be over the river next time. We are holding them off all along the front lines. a single infantry division that's in front of us there. Let's try, you know what, because the sooner we get some encirclements done, the better. And we can quite easily punch through Camp Group 88. There we go. Right, now I can move up some reserves. Yeah, let's do that. Because there's an option here to encircle half of the center, which is better than none of the center. Let's take a little bit off upgrading. It looks like we're about to... Yeah, okay, so one half... We've split the pocket. Now, I couldn't remember if there was anything here to be afraid of. So let's just try and see what happens if we push this. There's no forts here, so we'll bust through that militia unit quite quickly. Is there a fort here? Nope, there's no forts there. So we bust in there as well. Apparently we're coming to the end of the snows. Nearly won this battle here. I am thinking we're going to get all of these units. That is a lot of tank divisions and things. I didn't think that was as many as that. We'll do the 5 energy trade and we'll do the Brazil trade. Yes, and I'm on to 1944 tank tech, which is pretty cool. Made pretty good progress on our tank technology. That's a struggle there. The thing is, I want to keep this bridgehead over the Oder River, because a river line can be a bit of a pain in the ass to handle. Very good. A couple of Guards tank divisions have made it in. We are being attacked by some pretty major forces here. Ooh, okay, yeah, let's use them to advance. Ah, no, they already are. Yeah, tank division there, let's chuck them in. All struggling here. Let's keep the sides of the pocket secure. being attacked here and here, but no fort modifier, so that's good. And regardless of the fort modifier there, that's an easy capture. Now I imagine we are going to hold this. The major issue we have at the moment actually is the national unity going down because of the spies, which is a pain in the ass. Don't think that AI has quite realised what's happening yet, which is good. There's a couple of garrison divisions here. I'm just wondering if just one extra province might be needed. Because then we'll have pocketed at least another 20 divisions. It'll be a similar size encirclement to this one, actually. Maybe slightly smaller, more considered ones might actually make a little bit more sense. That's only a garrison division. I don't want to attack into urban. Yeah, let's just go for it. Support attack with the other Guards tank division. And I don't imagine a garrison will give us too much trouble. And if we can secure the flanks of the encirclement, that'll be really good. Which it looks like we're doing. So this will be a Polish encirclement, but centered around sort of some of the major provinces of Germany. Speaking of which, did we get Poznan? Oh yes, we did. It's got a major airbase. Let's just crack it. Oh, we punched straight through there. That one tile, this city tile, that might be a pain. Let's support attack with that light tank division. Right, we are being counterattacked by a pretty well-known German general in Pjotner. Not our best general actually leading the defense there, which is a bit of a shame. But we're both attacking and counter-attacking. Oh, they are melting. Ooh, that's a bad attack for them. Very good. Right, so what unit to leave behind? I mean, that 17th Guards Tank Division is looking a little bit worse for wear. Let's leave that one behind. And then I feel like really a decent push on that military police unit and it'll break. What are you actually made up of? Yeah, just militia and military police. So any military police units that they're manning the front lines with, I mean, if they're using military police units to man the front line, they must be in pretty bad state of affairs. Let's use... we could do something a little bit sneaky here, actually. Because we might be able to break through, you know, with these units here. So let's do that. In fact, you Should attack where there isn't a river crossing. Let's do that. And, oh, we got some free divisions. Let's get them involved. We broke through there. Right, and how many units have we managed to catch? 13,000. Hey look, it's 13,000 that can't be used towards any other attack, so we're always going to be taking that. Don't think they've got the strength, you know, to break out of this. Right, our tank and motorized divisions are breaking their way through slowly but surely. I would move up all the core HQs. The reason I don't want to do that is because they're a bit of a pain to actually keep an eye on, because they can break quite easily. A couple of divisions are attacking us here, but it's nothing to be worried about at the moment. Let's leave behind you two here. And then just let the guards tank divisions move up. You are ones with assault guns, actually, KV-2s. We just need to get these guys out of there. And these are our best divisions, so hopefully we can keep the door closed for just a little bit longer. It would be great if we could just push them over the river, actually. So let's give that a go. Like, that's just core HQ, so that's easy to do. The NKVD divisions are better than us. Or sorry, aren't really frontline units, I just have them there as a little defensive position. They're stopgaps only. Okay, we are winning this. The Blitz battle is winning. I'm going to move a couple of infantry divisions here. Looks like our Plotariat divisions are also forming nice little stopgaps. No one's moving in or out, and there's still a good, I would wager, 20 actual divisions in here. It's this one I want more than anything. These ones here. So I think step 2 is definitely going to be what I'm doing here. Ooh, okay, so we're being attacked by 44,000 there. Can you... yes, you can spare some troops. Oh, we've captured it. Very good. That was really, really, Well, happy days. That. Okay, so we've managed to sort out this little encirclement in front of Hungary here. They still have a lot of units, you know, bearing in mind the amount of damage that I have done, you know, the mass encirclement of a few million here, the whole encirclement of center. You know, the first one I did in Estonia was about 1.1 mil. We've got another 2 million that I did here, and then in the center I've at least killed 3 to 4 mil. You know, in real life, if this wasn't a video game, Germany wouldn't have been able to sustain those losses. So the fact that they're doing as well as they are, you know, it's quite impressive. I think part of the reason why they're doing so well is that, of course, the Americans or the British had sort of sat around with their thumb up their ass. I mean, right now, they should be able to jump into Italy, bearing in mind the amount of damage I've done, and the amount of Italian units on the front lines. Hey, that's Britain for you. We are pinning them in place, which is good. Germany is rushing out a lot of light tank divisions, like these ones here, that are sort of their mainstay at the moment. They're not particularly good divisions, but they are very quick. So you have to keep your eye on them, because one minute they're in one unit or area, and the next minute they're like halfway around the world. Right, and it's just a 10th Infantry Division that we're fighting now. It's a couple of quite, hopefully, easy to defeat infantry divisions. How many units are in here? One single Panzer division that's actually combat ready. We've got a new battle commander, which is cool. I am swimming in battle commanders near Moscow, actually, so it's the one thing I don't need is battle commanders. How many are you attacking? About 64,000, that's not too bad. Including a Panzer division. Aha, right. So, I only want to send sort of one unit to handle that. Same thing here. I'll just send a motorized infantry. And the worst of the snow is over, so that should mean that my supply situation just gets a little bit easier. Kustrin, that is here, so we have, wow, we've completely had to, yeah. I'm gonna have to give up, I think, this Oder river line. At least in the center. Yeah, they've made it over with some pretty sizable forces here, and there isn't a river to stop them. That's several Panzer divisions, including some pretty decent units. But they're moving the mechanized infantry brigade out, which seems a bit strange. Not really sure why they would do that. Now we begin the counterattack. And speaking of which, you are needed desperately over there. Couple of days we'll have dealt with this. Stupid infantry division. just hold off on that. Come on, just give up. Their unit strength actually going down quicker than their organization here, which is interesting to note. Ooh, yeah, let's counterattack with you. Counterattack with you. Right, looks like the Americans are losing a lot. And I mean a lot of divisions here. They are pushing us back at the gates of Berlin. Right, there we go. That's another pocket. So I can strategically redeploy there. Just leave those units here. So we've caught another probably 10... Yeah, probably another 10 divisions in this pocket that centers around Lodz, which is good. Now, stage 2 of this plan calls for, I think, an attack around here. Now, to that end, I have a lot, and I mean a lot of spare divisions now. Let's do this. Send the infantry southwards. What else have we got? Yeah. You can go that way. More infantry, so you can just form a line there. You're all motorized, so I'm going to send you that way. You're more motorized, I'm going to send that way. And these are all motorized as well. So when everyone was saying to me, why are you doing all your upgrades? This was why. It was so that I could start a proper motorized army for when it came to invading Germany. Brilliant. Okay. Let's just try and hold this line as best as we can. That unit has served its purpose as being a bit of a speed bump. Counterattacking in several areas. And I'm going to send the tank divisions south. Because I think they will be more useful in the south. All of the infantry and motorized, they can continue on their movement in that direction. Purely because I need to hold this German counterattack in place. And as I say, this bulge in our lines in the south looks useful to try and take out. Lost the Battle of Oppelin. Where is that? Here. Fuck. Okay, that was what I didn't want to happen. The only thing that we're sort of holding in place here is a pretty basic infantry division. Sorry, a garrison unit. Let's, we're gonna have to just drive in. let's attack Lords. Should be able to break through there quite easily. Ooh, the counter-attack is not looking so hot here. We're struggling. We really can't afford to let these units escape. We need to finish this off. Although we're not far away from here, are we? We can probably launch our attack here pretty soonish. Speaking of which, they aren't moving. So let's go for it. Come on, you can beat back one single German infantry division. This is turning into a slog. And the Germans have a lot of manpower, by the way. If anyone's wondering, you know, about that. They have a crazy amount of manpower. Okay, we've won that. You don't need to attack there. Ah, we took Lodz. Right, move up. Tank divisions. Counterattack that SS brigade. The 10th SS Panzer Division. Wow. Yeah, I've got a lot of units free. Wow. Lots of units free. And in fact, yeah, I think this encirclement, this Lvov plan is a good plan. It does rely on us not getting pushed back, though, over here, where, you know, we could do. Counterattack. I say counterattack. Come on, it's a stupid garrison division and an artillery division. Oh, this is ridiculous. I don't need to hold that realistically anymore, because if I take this one, then that's still a encirclement all along there. This is dicey, this. I'm going to leave semi-motorized divisions behind, of which there are one. In fact, let's go north and south. So we'll take you south, and we will take you north. Very good. Let's bring up these guys as reinforcements. I think that tank division is struggling to hold. More infantry that we can move up. along with tank divisions. Ah! And we just freed Poland. Oh, look at that. Isn't that good? Oh, I'm happy we freed Poland. Poland has been under the yoke of fascism for too long. It's now been freed by the mighty Red Army. There's Shao, you motherfucker. There he is, this guy. This guy has escaped us again and again with this 10th Panzer Division. I am done fighting him. I think I'm going to call it an episode here. Thank you very much for watching. Let's carry on in the next episode where hopefully I'll be able to finish an encirclement around my new Polish puppet state of all of the German centre line. So thanks again. Bye bye.